Hey there, it's Hannah. Welcome back to the Corner of Craft podcast. I hope that you're well. It's been a couple of months since I have posted a podcast. I know, I apologise. It's been a little hectic. It's been a little busy. We're in the throes of Advent dyeing and we've also just been having loads of heat waves in the UK. It's been awful. So it's also been quite nice because it's not been super rainy. It's barely rained at all, which in and of itself is a problem for like the environment and farming and growing and God knows what. But for being able to plan to do something and for all the nursery drop-offs, it's been quite nice because you know it's not going to rain. The rain is back. I've just had a jumper on. I just took it off. But I did just have a nice cosy jumper on. Maybe I should have kept it on. Probably would have been good for the vibe of the podcast, but I didn't want to get too hot. But it has been jumper weather this morning, which is very exciting. Anyway, I have been doing some knitting. Hooray. Managed to be squeezing it in among prepping minis for Advent dyeing the Advent minis. That's not the time consuming part. Then twisting all the Advent minis, which is what I'm going to be doing when I finished recording this, is going back upstairs and twisting more mini skeins, because even though I spent all day doing it yesterday, did not make a dent, and actually quite infuriated about that, but that's fine. That's not the point. If you are new, hello, my name is Hannah. I am a yarn dyer. My business is Chromatic Yarns. I'm situated here in Nottingham. My house is slightly chaotic and messy because I'm a slightly chaotic and messy person, but you know, I do what I can when I can. I live in Nottingham with my husband, who is a baker. It is as great as it sounds, apart from he never brings bread home for us. But I live in Nottingham with my husband, who is a baker. His name is Mario. And then I've got two cats, Miso and Kimchi. And then I have a 2-year-old whose name I don't share online. And I feel like I've just forgotten how to podcast and everything. It's been a bit of a hectic week, almost 2 weeks. I've gone a bit viral on social media for buying yarn that knits up as leopard print. It's gone a bit viral, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Let's just start. Oh, podcast notes. Podcast notes can all be found in the description box below. I'm just going to move this because it's going to fall off the chair and annoy me. Podcast notes can all be found in the description box below, or a link to the podcast notes. I write them all up on my website. And social media, I have it. If you'd like to follow, that would be great. If you enjoy this podcast and other videos that I post, if you would like to subscribe, that would also be nice. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. So if you would like to subscribe, that would be delightful. But if you don't want to subscribe, that is also absolutely fine. Finished objects. I had to go back through my podcast notes to see what I was knitting on the last time I spoke to you because I can't remember. The Pickles jumper. This is a flax DK. That was the wrong way around. I showed you the back. Doesn't really matter. Flax DK. I didn't do the short row, so it actually doesn't matter which way around I have it. And I used Drops Fiesta in the colour Rainbow Sprinkles. It is beautiful. I love how this is knit up. I think it's great. I can't remember the composition of the yarn. I will say, I don't think this is a suitable baby yarn. I think toddler it's fine because it is a bit woolly feeling. It's not as soft as a merino, say, but it is going to keep the pickle extremely warm. So that's great. I knit the 2 to 4 year size, so hopefully it will fit her for 1,000 years. That's obviously an exaggeration. It will probably fit her for 5 minutes. But it's too big for her right now. I feel like toddler clothes, it's a bit like a banana in that, you know, you wait for it to fit / you wait to eat it, wait for it to ripen, and then it fits for like 2 minutes. And then they grow out of it. Like a banana, you wait for it to ripen. You think, oh, it's ripe, I'll have that this afternoon. Too far gone. It's got to be banana bread now. But although saying that, a cardigan that my mum knit the pickle, she wore it when she was 8 weeks old. And then she wore it, I think, for the last time back in June. I'm sure it was a little cropped, but it looked fine over a dress. But yeah, I love this jumper. I finished it in time for the pickle's birthday, which was early July. And wonderful. I also knit a pair of socks for Mario, but I can't find where they are right now. Let's jump in to whips. I I have quite a few whips on the go at the moment. I'm currently hosting a make-along over on Patreon, which is the Advents of December's past make-along, where you knit or crochet or spin or weave a fibre advent calendar, yarny advent calendar from last year or before. When I've done this previously, I've not included, I don't think I've done from like 2020, from last year. It's been like older than that, but I wanted to use this one. I make the rules. It's my make-along. I am making the litmus cowl. So this is living in the bag that I got with the advent from the little grey girl. And it's an enormous project bag. I love it. We did a little swippy swap last year. I sent her my advent, she sent me hers. And then I paid extra for the bag. And yes, I'm making a litmus cowl. This is a pattern by Jude Harper. Jude no longer does yarn and is living his best life up in Scotland. Love that for him. I've got loads of this done. There's something about the stripes that just makes you want to knit, knit, knit. So you start with a provisional cast on, and this advent from Jem, the little grey girl, alternated between a vibrant fade, so like orange, peachy, no, that's yellow, yellow, peachy, orange, coral, pink, magenta, fuchsia, purple, violet, whatever, going through all of these various shades. But also, alternating days, you would get a grayscale fade, so super duper black, getting a bit lighter, and the grey would fade as well, which is really cool. So the original pattern for this calls for a contrast yarn to the yarn that you're striping. So you can use this in a 24-day advent and use all of the advent once, and then you've got the alternating colour in between. I've decided to just stripe all of it and do it twice. So we got to day 24 and then I started back at day 1. Part of me wishes that I'd kind of gone back, like I'd done 24, but then I'd gone back to 23 and sort of gone back this way, so it would have gone like whoop, whoop. But I didn't. I started back at the beginning again, and I'm too far to do anything about it. I'm just about to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh no, I'm in 15. I'm in 15. I've got my little sheepy stitch marker here from Flame Knits. Super cute. And I'm really enjoying this project. It's really easy stocking stitch. I'm using 3.5mm needles on a 16-inch cable. I use higher sharps. I've woven in like 3 of the ends. So I need to weave in all the ends. And I know some of you are going to tell me, Hannah, it's a cowl. You're not going to see the ends. Just notch them. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I have to weave the ends in. I am that person. I have to weave the ends in. I know I said I live a bit of a chaotic life, but at the same time, if I've put this much work into something, I may as well put the little bit of extra effort in to actually weave the ends in. That's what I think. But anyway, you do a provisional cast on. Then I believe once you get to the other end, you sort of like graft them together, this end to this end, and you make a long tube and then you can wear it around your neck. And it's going to be delightful. I'm excited. I'm pretty sure I have enough left to make another one. Don't know who I would give it to. This is on the sparkle base. I know I have a loving sister who would rock this, but she is very sensitive to wool and textures. So I cannot gift this. I would not be able to make her one, so we couldn't be twins. I'd be tempted to make like a smaller version for the pickle. We don't have a scarf for her. She's going to be, 2.5 this winter. So we don't have a scarf for her because last year she was only 1.5 and that felt like a hazard. But maybe this year a little cowl might be quite useful. So maybe I could do one, or maybe I just use the colourful with a cream or something a bit brighter than just black. I don't know. I don't dress the pickle in much black. I tend to try to go more colourful. But yeah. So I'm hoping this will be finished by the next time I see you. And that will be the first time I ever finish a project in time or within the span of my own knit along, which is quite impressive. This has become my dagger heart knitting, which is a bit like Dungeons and Dragons. It's the people over at Critical Role created a role-playing game, Dagger Heart, and we've started playing it. And I play a druid. Of course I play a druid. I love playing a druid. But Dagger Heart Druid is much less healing, and I wanted to be a healer. So it's not quite the vibe I wanted to be, but that's okay. I just keep turning into animals, and that's fine. Anyway, this has become Dagger Heart knitting because I don't have to think about it, and also a really good one just to grab in the car. The colourful yarn, I'm not having an issue differentiating between them, but I was having issue with the grayscale yarn. So I've got loads of these bags because I make advent calendars and they always send more than I need. By send, I mean I buy them. And then I think they're just like, that'll do. Or they do it by weight or something. But I always end up with loads. But I've just like numbered only 1 to 12. I figured that made more sense. So I know what order they go in. Yeah. And that works out very well until the pickle gets her hands on them and then it's just like taking them all out. I'm like, please stop doing that. Please stop doing that, thank you. But that is project number 1. Okay, let's talk about the leopard print cardigan. I've got to go get the yarn band 1 second. If you haven't seen, I hate being this person. Oh, it's raining. I hate being this person, but if you haven't seen, where have you been? Because these videos have been doing numbers for me on all of my social media platforms. Of course, short form content doesn't pay anywhere near as much as long form content. And of course, these are the videos that are popping off, which is about something I'm not selling. So isn't that always the way? But I saw someone post about this yarn on TikTok, sorry. So then I had to buy it. And I just made a very quick haul video, which I've done before, of look what I've bought. Because everything is content and I want to try and, I don't know. I don't like when my Instagram and social media is being like, sell, sell, sell. I kind of hate that. But so I was just like, this is fun. This is something fun that I've bought. I'll have it sat up in stash for a while. I'll get around to it eventually. But then the video popped off and everyone demanded to see swatches. And then I was like, well, kind of need to do what the people ask and cast something on with it. So I'm making a series of videos in short form content. This yarn is by Fildar. It is the Phil Leo Concept yarn. You get 230 grams in a giant ball, and it is 1,265 meters-ish. It is 71% wool, 10% mohair, 17% polyamide, and 2% elastane. And it's actually quite a nice blend. It's really nice. I've bought this in the colourway Fauve, and I wasn't able to find this anywhere in the UK. I had to go to a shop in Lithuania. I don't know how to pronounce Lithuanian words, so this is the name of the shop. And the shop so kindly have given me a discount to dish out to you all. This is not an affiliate code. I don't get paid a penny from you using this code. This is all just, you get a discount. So the code is Hannah15, and it will get you 15% off your yarn, because I won't lie, the shipping is not a great cost. However, with the 15% off, it will make it a bit less painful. So this is the ball of yarn. I know. It's massive. And you can tell that I've actually used a fair bit of it because the hole in the middle is getting bigger. But this ball of yarn, I think, was about 43 euros, 42 euros something. And then postage was like more. I think it came out to like 50 something euros in total. But like, I would pay that for hand-dyed yarn. And if this makes a whole cardigan, which it allegedly does, it says it makes up to a size 42 using one ball, which is a UK 14. Although I've been told multiple times that it's not a 14, it is a 14, it's a 10, it's a 12, it's very small, it's extra small, it's a small. So Google tells me it's a size 14. I lived in Germany for 2 years and bought size 42. I lived in France for 4 months, and I went shopping there and I bought size 42. So yes, that's fine. I hadn't been aware of the brand Fildar, but apparently it's been around a really long time, and it is a French brand, and I got it wrong in the reel and said it was Italian, and I've been corrected many times. Fildar, lovely. So I am knitting the step-by-step cardigan. This is a pattern by Florence Miller. I was hesitant to look at the step-by-step patterns because I know the step-by-step sweater is not yet size inclusive. However, the designer has said that she is currently working on putting upping the size range of that jumper. So wonderful. The cardigan is size inclusive and goes up to 155 centimetres. And then it's also got a 15 centimetre positive ease. I am knitting the 105 centimetre size with my bust currently being 104 centimetre. And I've just got to the point where I'm ready to split for sleeves. So this, it's like at the awkward bit where it's hard to show off because there's a lot of stitches on the needles. But this is how it's knitting up. Like, it's not hugely like leopard print. People have said it's cheetah print. It looks a bit like tortoiseshell. People have said it looks like raisin bread. It looks like a chocolate chip cookie. You know what? Regardless, I like it. People, someone outside, I saw it yesterday. Someone comment that it looks like the loincloth that they wear in the Flintstones. Fred wears in the Flintstones. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, but that's also meant to be like saber-tooth tiger skin, is it not? It's an animal print, but yeah, it's not hugely leopard print. But I kind of like the vibe. I like the essence. I like this cardigan. I like the pattern. I think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. I'm hoping I can block it a little bit longer because I think I'm a little short on the row gauge if this is where I'm splitting for sleeves. Right. It's not a whole lot of shoulder space. One of my criticisms about this pattern is it's a cardigan pattern without short rows. So I know it's going to fall off my shoulders quite a lot, but I'm not confident enough or savvy enough to be able to put short rows in myself. So we'll just see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm sure there's ways like around it and whatever, but I'm going to split for sleeves imminently. And I've still got all of this left. It's very lightweight, it's very floaty, very airy, and yet when I have it sat on my knee, very warm. I'm really glad the weather's cooling down because this would not have been fun to work on in the latest heat wave. I know a lot of you have also bought this yarn, so I'm excited that we're all going to be like a little leopard print posse running around. I really want to try the Dalmatian yarn, which same as this, they don't have the massive ball, at least the yarn shop I bought it from, they don't have the massive ball of it for Dalmatian, but they've got like smaller ones. They've got 25 gram balls, which might be good if this might not be enough. I have panic ordered a 25 gram ball because people want to see like crochet swatches, and I'm worried I don't want to do a bunch of swatches and then run out because frogging mohair is not high on my list of things that I want to do. So I've been holding back a little bit. Also, I hate not being able to do a centre pull. Very much a non-issue. This is a huge non-issue. I love a centre pull. I hate that I can't find the end in the middle. I've tried. No, that's just fluff. I thought I was just going to be like, and it's here. I hate that I can't find the middle because otherwise I'd go from the middle and do a crochet swatch. But I don't really want to cut the end off and then do a crochet swatch and whatever. Anyway, I think it's going to be a very interesting experience picking up the button band for this cardigan. I think seeing stitches is going to be a challenge, and it's going to be a really fun time. It's quite hard to see where I've done my increases because I generally count increases when I'm like seeing how many repeats I've done. For example, when you're knitting like the V-neck shaping, V-neck cardigan, when you're doing the V-neck increases, you're like, do X amount of those. And usually I just count my make one left or right. And that's how I know how many I've done. But I can't see my make one left or right because the yarn is so fuzzy. It's hard to see. but I'm using 5.5mm needle. If I were to make this again, I might just go up to a 6. I don't know why I was so hesitant to go up to a 6, but that's fine. I think it will fit fine. It might just fall off my shoulders a bit, but I know we've got a bit of leeway with blocking. So that is where I am up to with my step-by-step cardigan, and with the peer pressure of social media, I'm sure this will be the quickest garment I have, and the fact it's Aran weight basically, I'm sure this will be the quickest garment I've ever made in my life, and this will be done by the next time I see you, instead of every other garment where I'm working on it for about 20 years. But we shall see. We shall see. The pressure of social media is stopping me losing steam at the moment, because I know I'm feeling the pressure. Socks. I've been knitting socks. I vended at the Wool Monty in mid-June, and I knit a sock in its entirety. I can't remember which one. I chose this yarn because June was Pride month, and I thought, let's knit a Pride sock. This yarn is by the Yarn Badger, the lovely Liz, incredibly talented. This colourway is Rainbow Mist. She sent me, I bought the yarn, then she sent me a coordinating mini because she's an absolute wonderful person. But it's on the BFL base, which is 75% superwash blue face Leicester, 25% nylon, 400 meters per 100 grams. And I knit almost a full sock over the weekend at the Wool Monty, but a bit cheeky. I am using 2.5mm needles and 60 stitches, so it is a bit quicker because it's 4 fewer stitches per round. And usually I use 2.5mm needles. But yes, I've got 2 socks now. Wonderful. I need to put the heels in. I haven't put the heels in yet, but we've gone for sisters, not twins, so they don't line up, and I love that. I've got so much of this yarn left. The pickle's going to get some matching socks. Adorable. Excited to actually knit her some socks this year. I didn't bother last year, but I am this year. I love how this looks. I think it looks so good. This is living in my project bag that I bought last year at the Wool Monty from Soft Accents. And she uses a lot of like African wax print fabrics, and absolutely love her bags. So spacious. I like that there's 2 handles on it. That's fun, easy to grab. There's pockets. There's a little clippy inside that I have attached a tape measure to. And yeah, I've got lip balm in here. I've got paracetamol in here. I've got, what's this? A bobble. The postman. Always embarrassing to be filming yourself when the postman arrives, because he definitely looked in and saw me sat here with a camera set up. So that's fine. Whatever. But yes, what was I saying? Loads of pockets. Loads of pockets in this bag. Very good for a yarn show. This was my yarn show bag, hence me having tissues and all sorts in it. Usually I'm not quite as prepared. But because it was my yarn show, and I didn't have any pockets in the skirt, that's what it was. I didn't have any pockets in my skirt, so I shoved everything in my yarn bag. But I need to weave the ends in. I'm going to do Kirby Worthby afterthought heel and cut my knitting. These are going to be a bit shorter, I think, than some of my other pairs. Maybe I should have made them a little bit longer, but I think it will also be fine. It'll be fine. I have use for shorter socks as well, but yes. My final whip. I've also got a bunch of other whips as well. This blanket behind me is technically a whip because I've got like unfinished rows, but that's fine. Living in this bag, it actually is also by the Yarn Badger. It's George Michael Christmas bag. I cast this on around Christmas, this sock. Please don't judge me. Please don't judge me. You would, if you saw my latest, or not my latest short, if you saw a short I posted this week, you would have seen this yarn was featured in my demonstrating how long a film is by how much knitting I got done during said film. And yeah, so I've got one sock, and so then I'm working on the second sock. These ones are attempting to be more twins than sisters. I'm very close to being ready to do the toe decrease, and I don't have a contrast for these, so I'm just all using the yarn. I bought this for a Christmas Eve cast on like a couple of years ago, and then I'm now knitting it in the summer. This colourway, this yarn is by And Knit. It is a self-striping yarn, much like the other one was. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 365 meters-ish per 100 grams. And this is the colourway Mrs. Christmas. And it's very festive. I know it's very festive. I haven't knit myself socks in, I felt like I haven't knit myself socks in a while. So I thought I could do with some new pairs. So it's wonderful high twist yarn. And yeah, I'm using 2.5mm needles for these ones. 64 stitches, nice neat knitting. And yeah, I got loads done in the cinema because Spider-Man is super duper long. But this project bag, whilst not as spacious or as good as the Soft Accents one or the Little Grey Girl one, whatever, still has its uses. I chose this bag because it's small and I can scrumple down and shove it in my handbag. Good for travelling. Those two, I can't shove them in my handbag. Well, the cowl one is because there's too much yarn in it, but I love this yarn. I never will dye. Let's never say never. I have no intention right now to dye self-striping yarn. I can't be bothered. I'll be honest. I can't be bothered to do the maths. I have no desire in doing the maths. So this is where I'm up to. This is what I'm doing. This is the socks. And so I need to cut the heel in and knit the heel. I will just stick with using the self-striping for the heel. I'm doing a centre pull, as you can tell. And yes, nothing more to say. 64 stitches, 2.25mm needles, higher sharps. Behold, one of my little beaded stitch markers. Very cute, little sloth. I haven't made them in a very long time. But yeah, shop news. Or do we do acquisitions next? Probably acquisitions next. I'm not going to like show you all the stuff that I've bought because I've actually posted a few short form videos on it. So obviously I bought the leopard print yarn, but also I bought a bunch of yarn at the Aldi sale or the Aldi wool event. Didn't need to, definitely did. And we'll be knitting the pickle, some clothes. Shop news. I have a bunch of yarn sat in my spare room that honestly, he hasn't said this, but I'm sure Mario is sick of walking past the spare room every day and seeing just bags and bags of yarn in the spare room when it should be upstairs. But the reason I've not taken it upstairs is because there's also bags and bags of yarn upstairs. But the bags and bags of yarn upstairs is Advent yarn, but all the bags and bags of yarn that is in the spare room is yarn from the Wool Monty and also East Anglia Yarn Festival, but like show stock. And it's all just been sat in there since after the Wool Monty and I've not touched it. So to do a little bit of tidying and a little bit of cleaning because I'm getting to the point where I need to. I can tolerate mess for a really long time and then it gets to the point where I'm just like, I'm done. And then I just want to like chuck everything in my house out the window. So to stop me throwing all that yarn out the window, I'm going to put it up in the shop, which I desperately need to do. And I haven't been doing it because I've been dyeing up Stardew Valley and shipping that off. That's all gone now, thank goodness. Dyeing up advent calendars. I've dyed all bar 3 days of the daily advent calendar. I was waiting for some dye to arrive and I thought, perfect, let's just make the most of this opportunity to catch up on a bit of twisting. I forgot how long it takes. I really forgot how long it takes. But, so yes, catching up on twisting this week. And then next week I'll dye the last 3 days of the daily advent. I need to wait for some yarn to arrive for the weekly advent. Hopefully that will arrive next week. And basically we're on track for that. But in the meantime, in between time, I need to photograph a bunch of yarn and put it up in the shop. I've also got some stitch markers, not many, but I have some stitch markers left over from the Wool Monty that can go up in the shop. That shop update is coming Friday, the 28th of August at 2 p.m. UK time. And then I will ship it the next week, probably like Wednesday, because I'm not going to be able to work on Tuesday. because Mary is working Tuesday on that week. But regardless, yes, I will ship it out. Probably might be able to do some on Monday, but I'll definitely be able to do some on Wednesday. I feel like I'm going a bit shiny. We'll say glowy. I'm going glowy. Anyway, yes, shop update. Friday the 28th of August, 2 p.m. BST, UK time. I'm still shipping internationally. The tariff has changed for US orders. It's now 16%. Also, I think I'm going to have to start charging tariffs for German orders because I have to pay like almost 50% in Royal Mail, and I haven't seen anyone talk about it, and I don't know why. But I don't know. I guess it's you don't pay VAT on it coming in, so you're paying VAT. I'm paying the VAT for you. Everyone laughed at Trump for doing all these tariffs, and now all these other countries are copying. And I'm like, please stop changing everything all the time. Can't we just go back to the person paying it as it's coming in? Because I don't want to have to invoice people extra money, but I might have to, especially for Advents. Anyway, life stuff. What's been happening? It's been the Pickle's birthday. She's now 2. We went on holiday down to Mum and Dad's on the south coast in England and had a lovely time. It's been heat wave after heat wave after heat wave, and it's just been quite a nice, somewhat relaxing summer. Dyeing yarn in a heat wave is literally the worst thing ever. I've been so sweaty. However, it has meant that it's dried very quickly, so it means I've been able to dye every single day, which is how I've managed to like get through Advents pretty quickly instead of having to like wait a few days for it to dry. It's been known for me to put my heated airers on at some point in August. Like I've definitely done that before. But anyway, it's been a lovely summer. It's been nice. I mean, I've still been posting videos on here, but I feel like they've not been as casual as a podcast is. Anyway, what have you been up to? What have you been knitting? Please let me know. Leave me a comment down below. What do you think the leopard print cardigan looks like? I'm surprised no one's told me that it looks like spotted dick yet, because it honestly does a little bit. Traditional British pudding. Get your mind away from that bit. It's a traditional British steamed pudding. I feel like I can't call it my spotted dick cardigan though. I'll probably get flagged on social media. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on social media if you would like to. And yeah, I'm sure as soon as I turn this camera off, there's something else that I would want to say and show you, but I can't remember right now. We'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being amazing. Thanks for being you. I really need to clean my glasses, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye.